All right, hello and welcome back. So in this video, I want to talk to you about something that is going to help you get that job or score the client that people don't really talk about. Okay, so again, the goal is to be an extension of whatever it is they're doing, and you're targeting clients that are sort of in the direction of your vision. So you feel God's calling you to go over there, and it's like you're going to work with those types of people or this type of company. And as you go that way, you need to be looking for someone over there. Okay, well, what do they look like? What does that reality look like? Oh, it's this kind. Okay, so for me, and you definitely don't have to work with Christian organizations, but for me, I felt God saying, I want you to work with Christians, ministry leaders, Christian business leaders, people who are trying to build the kingdom, and I want you to support them. Awesome. Well, they want to know that I'm like them and I support their vision and I'm passionate about what they're passionate about. So, what do you put on your resume? You put other things that have nothing to do with the job. Okay. If I was going to go and apply for a church, I don't have a lot of church experience anymore. I mean, that's 10, 12 years ago now. Like I went to school for it. I didn't graduate. So I'm not going to put that on there. I've got 4 years, I would say 4 years ministry school experience. In the interview, they'd be like, did you graduate? Nope. Nope. I got a job before I graduated. So I took it and moved to Hawaii. And they'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. But most times they don't even ask. They just assume it. Okay. Whatever. Anyway, I digress. But coming back in, um, if I'm applying for a church and my resume is not super like, oh, I have tons of family ministry experience or whatever it is, I'm going to put character in there. And it doesn't necessarily have to be under the title of character, but it's like, well, what's your experience to be a ministry leader? You a pastor, you haven't been what I don't want to be in the situation and be like, well, looks like the last time you were a pastor was 12 years ago. I mean, what have you been doing since? A business. Oh, how dare you? That's not helpful. So, yeah, oh, yeah, I've got experience back then. Well, since then, I'm really passionate. My wife and I've done a fair bit of missions. We've done missions, and we've been to Israel for 2 weeks. We've been to Cambodia for the trafficking. She's been to Haiti. I've done a number of disaster relief trips all over the United States, including Hawaii. We've done a lot of missions. We're very passionate about bringing Christ and supporting missions and doing missions. Oh, wow. Oh, you're like us. You want what we want. You want to share the gospel, but you're really committed. Like you paid your own money to go missions. This is what they're thinking. Okay, so character, show them who you are, not what you can do. Show them that you align with whatever it is that they're doing. And that's what's going to make them feel connected to you. Okay. Um, Other examples of this, for example, what's a reason you should be a pastor? Well, my wife and I really love giving back. I don't have any, family ministry. I know I'm applying to be a family pastor. I don't really have any family ministry, but, my wife and I have been very passionate after our missions, and we decided we wanted to do foster so that we could give, some kids and, we have space in our family. Obviously, we can give these kids, a better life and raise them in the Lord. You know, I can have zero family ministry experience and say that and get the job above people who have all the family ministry experience in the world. Why? Because I'm living family ministry, not working family ministry. And that's what they're looking for. Am I like them? Am I actually living like something they believe? Okay. So this is an example of character. Show them who you are in real life outside of your job experience, and then show them why that's related to your job experience. So that would be something else. And that's not something you're really going to see on any of these on the screen. I still have them pulled up, but that's not here. It's like education. That's not that. It's work experience. That's not that. And I remember one time I applied when I was in high school. It was like the coolest job. Everybody wanted this job. I applied to a exotic pet store and they had the craziest pets. They had giant tarantulas and anacondas. I literally had an anaconda try to take my hand off one time. and super rare snakes that were worth like $10,000 and crazy fish. And we had turtles that were like 100 years old. They were like this big. And I stunk at that job, by the way. I didn't last very long. But all that to say, I got the job. And after I got the job, they told me there were over 500 applications. And I didn't have any experience for breeding snakes or lizards or sales because they were selling super expensive animals, rare breeds, and all this stuff. And I was like, well, what did I get the job for? And they're like, because you love animals. Wait, hold on a second. You deal with some of the rarest snakes and breeding and all this stuff. And there's 500 applications, and you pick some high schooler to come work for you because he likes animals. And they're like, yeah, you said you've owned lizards, you've owned snakes, you've had aquariums, you've had gerbils, you've had hamsters, you've had a zoo in your house. And I was like, well, that's true. I grew up with a lot of pets. And so that's why they hired me, because I was living what they were passionate about. So they skipped everybody else and they pulled me out of 500 people and I got the job. So again, just to reiterate, show them who you are, your character, how you live and what you stand for, and bring that into your resume. And that'll make you stand out totally different. You'll also notice that plays very closely in with contrarianism. And that's why I say what a lot of these other people are putting on their resumes is technically correct. And also nobody cares. They're all the same. Put the thing that's different on there that people actually care about, and you can totally do that. So hopefully that's a good one for you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.